I know a lot of us want to start a business but don't know which one is actually worth it. So today I have someone here with me, a young Nigerian making waves in livestock and fish business. So if you ever thought about going into agriculture or you want to have a side also that will give you real money in returns, then this very video is for you. Let's get into it. Please kindly introduce yourself.
My name is Moses Emmanuel. I'm based in Lagos, and my business also based in Lagos. And I'm originally from Benue State. And the name of my company is CGI Farms and Consults.
Welcome, Mr. Emmanuel.
Thank you.
How did you get into fish business? What inspired you?
I got into fish business because that was what I studied in school. And I said to myself, if I study this thing, if I can spend about 5 years in studying this course, definitely I should be able to bring out something out of this. And I developed that passion because I noticed a lot of people are deviating from farming. So I said, okay, if others are deviating from farming, let me go into farming. So that was how I developed that passion for farming.
What type of livestock or fish do you major in and why?
I major into two types of livestock, which the first one is catfish, while the second one is tilapia. And the reason why I major into it is because it is widely reared in Africa, especially in Nigeria.
If someone watching this right now has 500,000 naira, what can they start with?
You see, in that aspect, like I said, we have different sectors when it comes to this business. We have the processing sector, we have the artificial breeding sectors, and we have the grow-out sections. It now depends on which section you want to fall to, but I can assure you, with 500,000 naira, you can still start small. Probably you can just go into the grow-out section. But mind you, most of your running capital goes to the feeding part of this business. So you should have it in mind that 80% of your working capital goes to the feeding aspect of this business. So it is not just about you having so many fishes in your pond, but you have to do, there's what we call quantity survey. So you have to do that. When you do that, you know the number of fish and you know the amount you have at hand that can take care of the number of fishes you want to stock in your pond. Thank you.
So, Mr. Emmanuel, how profitable is fish farming in Nigeria today?
Okay, there are so many things that can actually influence the profit margin of this business. First of all, when there is low mortality rate. Secondly, when you have a good market chain, it can increase the profit margin of this business. Then again, as we all know today, fish is very, very cheap in the market. So there is no way you and I cannot eat fish. Even throughout a week, there's no way you cannot eat fish. So in this, if you have a market for this fish, definitely there are buyers who are ready to buy this fish off from you.
What are the biggest challenges beginners face in this line of business?
Some of the challenges I want to highlight to some of the challenges beginners face. Number one is mostly the government policy. Government policy can just come in at any time and it will pose a threat to your business. Then secondly, it has to do with capital. Because for you to start this business is not just something you can just wake up one morning and you just say you want to start it. You need to have enough capital, but that doesn't mean you can't start small. But as you start small, also your profit margin is going to be small. But if you start big too, sometimes your profit margin too can be as big as it is.
That's interesting. So is this business something someone can run as a side hustle or it needs full-time attention?
But it depends on how you are seeing the business. You can have it as a side attraction business, while you can have it as a full-time business. There are some persons who see it as a full-time business and it's really, really working for them. While we see some other persons that are seeing it as a side attraction business and it's working for them as well too.
What's the biggest mistake you made when you started and how did you learn from it?
This business is not something I just learned. I actually went to school to study this course, and most of the mistakes that we might make during the course of the business, we were taught in school and how to handle those mistakes. But then the mistake I encountered most is the capital aspect. There was not enough capital at first for me to start the business, but I had to just start small. And during the course of starting small, there are so many things that came up with it, but then I was able to handle them.
Have you ever lost livestock before and how did you handle it?
Okay, one thing about this business, I always tell people that there is no occupations without its own downside. So in this business, definitely there are going to be some days you experience mortality, but then the mortality should not be more than, when it comes to percentage, it shouldn't be more than 0.1%. So there are some times when you have some mortality which are natural deaths, and there are some times which they are not natural death. But at that point, you need to look out. So that means something is wrong. Something is definitely happening in your pond for you to take an urgent, for you to quickly see into it what the problem is. But there are sometimes we see mortality which are natural.
Can you tell us what keeps you going on the hard days?
Okay, thank you. Well, I would say some of the things that has actually kept me going is some of the promises I've made to my families. Like, I want to make them proud. In every occupations, like I said, in every occupations there are always the downside. But first of it all, you don't have to look at the downside. You just have to be positive at all times, just for you to keep yourself going. And most of the times, you have to encourage yourself. So in doing that, you definitely keep on going, no matter what. Sometimes the challenges will come, definitely, but then you still have to keep going.
So what advice would you give to a young Nigerians looking for legit income opportunities?
First of it, before I even go into that, I would love to advise the youth: don't study courses that you think you can't, when you're out of school, that you can't start something with. You need to study courses. Don't just say, okay, because you want to go to school or you want to be a graduate, that's why you just choose any other course. Some of the courses that some of us study today, we can't even come out and defend them after our days in school. Now, let me now go back to the question. I would like to advise the youth that you should always have the mindset of being an employer of labor, because there are no jobs. The government is not even doing anything that concerning providing jobs out there. So instead of that, just think out of the box and try to create something or try to invent something so that you too can be an employer of labor. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Mr. Emmanuel.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for sharing. This was super insightful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a comment below, and also you can share with someone who needs the video. You can also follow Mr. Emmanuel Moses on TikTok and on Instagram. I'm your girl Miracle Onyekosola, and I'm rooting for you guys as always. Mwah!